Well,
So.
the draft this year, I guess it's a bunch of guys you get around for a few hours. What do we expect? What should we expect?
I would expect a lot of terrible picks from my competitors and a lot of great picks from myself.
So I guess we should discuss a lot of the players and taking all that right now because we're about to start the draft here.
We're going to actually have Stephen and I are going to have a pre-draft analysis, but we're not going to play it until after we draft. Yeah. And we're going to give our thoughts about who's going to have a terrible draft as well as what players we think should go at a certain point. And then people can watch after this and then see how they think they did. But it doesn't matter in the end. It doesn't matter about who wins.
Well, I think we can say the first 5 picks. I mean, that's pretty obvious. We don't have to go in. I mean, I think this past year we saw that Chris Johnson. Obviously, last year it was Adrian Peterson, and then I think Chris Johnson in the draft was probably pick number 8, 9, 10. I'm not sure.
Yeah. My aces and eights picked him last
so,
year. Then you got D'Angelo Williams right after him at 9th pick.
So if you're not picking Chris Johnson or Adrian Peterson the first 1, 2, then or Maurice Jones-Drew, you're an idiot.
Yes, I agree with that.
I mean, I think there was one year somebody picked Philip Rivers. Is that correct?
I think that was Ryan for King Slayton. He picked him.
Yeah. So should we expect somebody like that?
I think there's always somebody that reaches on somebody, but. That's the way it goes.
Let me ask you about Brett Favre.
Yes.
Favre, yeah. John Madden. What do you think? Do you think we're sitting here by the time we play this, by the time draft day, this coming Saturday, we may find out that he's playing. Some teams think that he's coming back. His own teammates have said he might come back the 3rd preseason game. What do you think? Where should he? Let's say the draft comes this Saturday. Should somebody take a risk and draft him? Should you not?
Well, I think it just all depends on where you get him. I think as a whole, most people think he is coming back. It all depends on his ankle, but I think that's part of him buying his time because he can get that ankle healed. He's got to go meet with that doctor that's checking him out. I think ultimately he'll be back. I mean, I'm thinking 80% he'll be back, 20% he won't. So I think it's a fair reach. I don't think he wants to end on an interception. I think if he can get this last season out of himself and play one more year, I think that's what he would like to do. But we'll have to wait and see. And I'm thinking he will come back.
What about rookies? Coming in, do you see any? Obviously, LT's gone to the Jets, and obviously Ryan Matthews steps in. We don't know a whole lot about him. You've got Tim Tebow, the one that's talked about. You've got Sam Bradford, but these may be reaches. What do you think about that? Are those just kind of mid-level picks, mid rounds?
I think if it talks like a duck, it quacks like a duck, it's not a mongoose. And I would think that Ryan Matthews is going to be playing starting running back. He's got Darren Sproles as a guy in the backfield who can catch passes, but I think Ryan Matthews will be a good 2nd round pick.
I guess the thing about that is that we don't have any history going as far as NFL. I mean, we probably thought a few years ago Darren McFadden coming in the league was a rookie. He was a high 1st, 2nd, 3rd round draft pick, and he was pretty much a bust. Yeah,
well, I think traditionally most running backs that are rookies have far outperformed wide receivers that have been rookies. I think if you look back on wide receivers that are rookies, you got schemes. You have also, different cornerbacks. Now all their experience. I think most wide receivers that have had even fabulous years is rookies, 700 yards, and. That's far different from some of these guys like Adrian Peterson, who was blown up. C.J. Spiller has an opportunity.
That's right.
But the only thing about the Bills I'm concerned about is their line and how terrible their teams are. I try to stay away from terrible teams in general. I mean, that doesn't all ends on. I try to stay away from terrible teams because terrible teams end up not putting up a lot of points. St. Louis last year with Steven Jackson, 4 touchdowns. So there you go.
So this league starts out with a lot of hype. The draft day is fun. What about through the week? How do you maintain people's interest? What do you do to kind of say like a team falls to the back of the pack? Say we have some new teams that are here. Why should they keep playing in the middle of the season and they're in last place?
Well, I think based on my experience, they shouldn't. They should automatically give up and capitulate to Mr. Amazings or whoever's there in the big top. So now, in all seriousness, I'm kidding. But every week you can win money. I remember last year when I started out, I actually I was probably one of the low numbers starting out. I had 60 points my first week. I lost to Vanilla Killers. And so you can win if you have a great record. You can win if you have a good week. You can do terrible one week. Things can change all in a couple of weeks, and it's very important to live off the waiver wire. And not only that, if you squeak into the playoffs, you can still win a decent amount of money, as well as win a red jacket, as well as your name on a Super Bowl trophy. Well, it actually called the Living the Dream Bowl trophy, which is fantastic.
So you have a regular season winner,
yes,
and a Super Bowl winner.
Yes.
Okay.
So people can get in. There'll be 8 out of these 16 teams that will make it into the playoffs. 8 will not make it. 8 will make it. But even in the playoffs, you can. You can win money from week to week, and so it also depends on your draft. Next year. If you don't finish well, you get a good pick next year. And things can change, so don't give up.
Tell me about the last few years. We haven't really had. I guess we've had like an LTD, which stands for Living the Dream trip. We've had offer, but I guess probably you've won both times. There wasn't actually a trip.
What we've done is, instead of doing the Living the Dream trip, because most people, I would give them like a voucher to $100 voucher, whatever, to come on a trip, and nobody's taking me up on it. So I think instead of doing the Living the Dream trips, I just give somebody $100 out of the money that we have. We got a lot of people that are afraid to travel, like sit home and eat popcorn and watch TV.
Yeah, I think Fleming rides a train or something like that, like John Madden. Yeah.
I think people just don't like to travel. It is what it is, but
Yeah. So, do you have any questions as far as like for the Band of Brothers or anything?
I think the Band of Brothers. I think you've. We're going to actually talk and have more personal questions, but I think what I'm going to do in our pre-draft session, which will be our next session, is we're going to go into more in depth and details, and I'm going to ask Band of Brothers a lot more questions. So
let me ask you this before we close this up. Rule changes. It's a point per reception league, right?
Everything will stay the same. What we're going to do is we're going to have a 72-hour waiting period on trades for votes. Even though a lot of people are not involved on the boards, you need to be involved in the message boards. And not only that, we're also going to have waiver wire. We're going to change that so where people can not only it's going to be a longer time to pick up a person, because you can get people like me that are more involved, or like Band of Brothers that are more involved, that'll just be picking people off the waiver wire because it was a shorter stint last year. So I think we're going to make it longer, just so the waiver wire importance will have some importance instead of just us living off the waiver wire.
So how many rounds in this draft?
There'll be 17 rounds in the draft. We're going to have food provided for lunch. We'll have ribs and dips, bean dip and a bunch of other things here for the draft. So it should be a fun festivity. I'm gonna have tons of beer, liquor to get y'all, like casino, man, get y'all drinking before the draft, so y'all pick terrible picks.
And I think you have a few surprises though too. I'm sure you do, as far as the handout awards and things like that.
We'll have some great awards this year. I'm gonna go to the Southern Thrift and some other spots, pick out some wonderful stuff. So we've got great people. We've got people coming from all over. I like to, we've got Fragile Porcelainites, who is actually coming from Connecticut.
Wow.
We've got William and Mike Hessler, who will be coming up from Atlanta. We've got people coming from all over, so it's an incredible opportunity to meet new people. And we've got a band of people coming from Johnson City, Tennessee. We've got BMAC and the Seven Doors, known as Nathan Bays. We have Brian McCormick, who was Miss Amazing, who had a fabulous year last year. He had Mike Sims Walker, Vernon Davis, he had Ray Rice. He had a fabulous team. And so he's got a great manager that's a force to be reckoned with. There are two teams. I've actually even heard people like the Vanilla Killers that are trying to invest in BMAC's team, which I think is absolutely preposterous, that you would think that he's going to do better than you, and that you would not think that your skills are better than his through a little practice, a little reading, and a little preparation. So anyway, this is going to be hilarious. It'll be fun, and we'll have a great time. So stay tuned for our pre-draft analysis, which will be coming to you here shortly. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Commissioner.